The long-awaited game set in Japan, where you fight against the Mongol invasion back in 1274, is finally on the PC, but comes with several issues on this port, from crashing when you start the game to sudden lagging and no audio in some cutscenes. The minimum requirements are 8GB RAM, GTX 964GB VRAM, and Ryzen 3 1200, which is quite high for us low-spec gamers, so the question is, can I play? Hello guys, it's Mr.CanIplay, and in today's video, the best settings for Ghost of Tsushima on a low-spec PC. The game has several settings in options to customize your game as per your liking, from texture quality to water acoustics. So let's look at each setting and how it impacts the graphics of the game. Field of view is a feature that helps you increase or decrease the view angle, so you get to choose how big or small you want your vision to be, and this can help boost FPS when decreased. Texture quality is for detailed textures, and it impacts both your RAM and VRAM, but there isn't much impact on the graphics when set to high or low, only minute changes in details that requires you to have a very keen eye to notice, but great increment in FPS. Now, texture filtering, which improves texture quality when viewing at an angle, doesn't bring major changes in terms of visuals, but the lower the settings, the better the GPU performance. Shadow quality is one which adds more details to the shadows, at a cost of your VRAM on the GPU. Now when set to low, you can see there is no detail to the shadows, unlike in high, which is very detailed. You can see how the leaves are and the outline of the character's features. Now to get more FPS, I recommend that you turn this setting off. Level of details helps in increasing the distance at which objects fade to lower details. Now when you set this to low, the distant objects aren't rendered at all, thus removing shadows, textures, and even foliage. Now this makes the environment less detailed, which is great for us low-spec gamers, as there is massive boost in FPS. Terrain detail affects the quality of the environment, and this can be seen when you look at the grass or the ground, and the lower the settings, the lower the amount of VRAM used. Now volumetric fog, which stimulates light transmission through a scene that contains fog, has a big impact on your VRAM. Now when you set this to low, we can barely see the fog that is right in front of us, giving us clear images and a boost in FPS. Screen space shadows gives additional shadows, especially on foliage, giving us more details and visually impressive graphics. Ambient occlusion, which is used to darken creases and corners to add more depth and liveliness, helps reduce the quality of shadows when turned off. Now the difference between SSAO and HBAO+ is 1. The plus means that there's double the effects of HBAO, and 2, being that HBAO+ is higher quality occlusion by increasing the definition, the quality, and even the visibility. Now bloom is a feature that helps brighten reflection of light, making the game feel more realistic. Now when we turn it off, the images become darker with less light reflected and giving less details. Vignette feature is basically like bloom, but specifically for your screen and has no impact on your GPU or FPS. Now these are the most important settings that you need to change. Now the first issue that we'll sort out is the crashing, which can happen mid-game or when you start the game, with a message about updating your GPU drivers, and this has nothing to do with the GPU or updating drivers or anything. Now for this, please access your launch and simply switch to exclusive full screen, disable frame rate generation and dynamic resolution. In terms of settings, we get a maximum of 10 FPS on very high settings with AMD FSR set to quality at 720p, and 30 FPS on very low settings with AMD FSR set to ultra performance at 720p. Now this makes the game really playable, but if you still can't play even after tweaking the in-game settings, then please subscribe to my channel for low-spec tutorials on how to play new games on all PCs. Now for the best optimized settings, there are only 2 steps that you need to take, and step 1 is opening registry on search and go to current key, then software and scroll to Sucker Punch Production folder, then open Ghost of Tsushima. Now click and set show launcher to 0, which will disable the launcher, thus any change that you are going to make in the configuration file won't be reverted back to original. Step 2 is to open the graphics folder and set these values to 0, from ambient occlusion all the way down to volumetric for quality. Now the resolution scale can be changed to a minimum of 800 by 600, nothing lower than that, and this will be enough for us. So let's check out how it looks, it feels, and even compare the graphics to maximum settings.